I took inspiration from this designer piece that is over $300, and I made this for only $50 in materials. Hello magical friends, I'm Ruthie's Magical Camera, and I make portraits made of wonder and daydreams. And there has been a corset that has not left my brain ever since I saw it on Instagram. And it is this like bow corset. And if you see it in action, you can tell that it's actually a stiff corset. This designer, Jack Label, I don't know. This designer, Jack Label, does these incredible like breastplates, and they are shaped perfectly to these bodies. Like, it is incredible. And these bow corsets, oh my gosh, they are just to die for. And I was thinking about it, like, of course, because these are designer, these are gonna be super expensive, but these ones kind of look like bows just dipped in resin. And so I wanna try to see if I can make these myself because I don't have a designer budget for my photo shoots. So my thought is I'm going to create a plaster mold of my bust so that I can have something to drape the bow against. And so I have my best friend come over and help me with that, and this is how that turned out. What are we doing today, Autumn?
We're making a booby mold of you.
No, we're gonna say we're getting plastered. What are we doing today, Autumn?
We're getting
plastered! What we're gonna do is we're gonna lather me up in Vaseline, and then we're gonna cover my body in plaster strips to make a mold of my top half.
Lubed up. Shiny.
Autumn is now in costume to protect her clothes.
It's a little bit tricky to film what we're doing while I'm getting plastered, so I'll just explain what we did here. Autumn covered me with plaster strips vertically, and then she went back again and covered me horizontally. We only worked on one half at a time, so I was just doing the front half. I was a little nervous about the plaster sticking to my skin, but I had no issues and it came off. Even in areas where there wasn't a ton of Vaseline, it just flaked off.
My boobies are getting hard.
Does it feel weird to breathe?
It feels like I'm just wearing a breastplate, like armor. Like,
so cool.
it's so rigid.
It's,
but, like,
yeah.
I could breathe in it.
I ended up plastering below my waist just in case I wanted to use that area later, but I think I wore the wrong shorts for this because they added a lot of bulk and kind of changed the shape of my stomach area. I also didn't film this part, but after we got the front half, we added more Vaseline to the edges of the front half and then plastered the back half. So the process was exactly the same.
Oh, we got our Ruthie back.
Whoa. Oh, you can see all the Vaseline.
That is your back.
Wow.
Ooh. Ah! Ah! It's like I'm hugging you.
This is the bust of my body. This turned out, oh, I'm a little tall. This turned out successful, so hopefully that's a good sign for the rest of this project. But I'm going to use this to mold my corset too. Let me show you the bows that I got. So I got this white bow here. It's kind of sheer, so I have white fabric that I'm gonna use to kind of line it on the bottom to make it more opaque. And then I got this pink and bluish bow ribbon to go on top. So it's going to stack kind of something like this. And then I have extra ribbon to kind of beef up this area. I have about like 50% confidence that this is going to work because like really like at this point it could go either way. And then I'm going to be using cling wrap so that I have a release layer so that I don't glue my corset to the body bust. I also got this silicone mat to protect my work surface. Ugh, come on. Come on. Oh, this is a resin that I got. I did absolutely no research in determining quality or what kind of resin I should get because I just couldn't be bothered. Wear gloves and operate in a well-ventilated environment I don't have gloves. The only UV light that I have is one that's for nails. I don't know if it's gonna be strong enough for my resin, but again, I couldn't be bothered. So this could be another failing point.
And so it begins. I started brushing on resin onto the front and back of my bow, making sure to hit all the curves and folds of the fabric. I do think that I could have skipped making this plaster mold of myself by just taking a bra and stuffing it and using that to mold the bow to, but I already wanted a bust for the future, so I didn't mind doing that whole process.
One of the reasons why I'm making my own is because I was a little bit worried about coverage, because so many of these really cute corsets, like the viral ones, are made for girls with itty bitty ditties. Designers don't really know what to do with my blessed chest. Okay, moment of truth. We are going to try the UV light on it. I don't know for how long.
The nail light totally worked, but I will say it was a little bit slow. A stronger light definitely would have been faster. Once I cured the whole top half, then I was able to pick up the corset and then cure the bottom half.
Oh no, I trapped a dog hair in my corset. Ah! I'm gonna have to cover that with something. I realized that gloves are probably an important part of this process, and I found gardening gloves that have some latex on them, so that's what we're gonna use. So I have put on 2 coats of resin on the front and the back, and it is feeling really good. I'm gonna have to set it in the sun tomorrow to kind of get it to fully cure, because I could tell there's a couple of spots that aren't fully cured. Okay, since it's ribbon, I'm actually going to try dipping it into the resin and then organizing it how I want. I think that'll give me better coverage.
I dipped the ribbon and then I used my brush to get all of the extra epoxy off. You don't really need a ton, and I didn't want it to be super thick. I just needed it all to be covered. This part was really important to position the ribbon to flow in the way that you like, so definitely take your time to get it exactly how you like it. And then I first cured the little bow to the big bow to tack it in place, and then I cured the whole rest of the bow, of the purple bow.
Ah, it's working! I can't believe it actually worked. I'm like surprised that it worked this well. Oh my gosh, this freaking saran wrap. Ah, this has been my life all night. Here she is. This is how she's looking right now. The Instagram version has a bunch of pearls and gems on this, but I don't know if I want to add any because I'm loving how it looks as is. It's just so pretty.
I was pretty set on keeping this corset without the pearls because I liked the simple look, but my Instagram followers voted and it was unanimous that they all wanted the pearls. So this is me adding on those pearls.
She looks absolutely gorgeous. So let me give you a little bit of a tour. I showed the whole process, but the only thing I didn't show was me attaching these straps. I basically just sewed a rectangle out of fabric and then I attached it with resin. That's kind of the great thing about this project, is just like if you want anything on your corset, you just attach it with resin. And so there you can kind of see it attached with the back, and because it's resin, it's so sturdy. This is going to be super helpful in giving me that support that I really want. I am so excited for the photo shoot that I can't even wait. So let's jump ahead to that now. And then this is where I enter a transition. Okay, so I actually recorded the whole finale for this video already. And then I accidentally didn't have the microphone plugged in the right spot. I've been working cameras with my whole life, but apparently I don't know what I'm doing. So here is the final corset. It is so cute. The little pearl details are the best. It really feels like armor. It is a little bit difficult to breathe in because it is so sturdy. It is a statement piece. It's not the most comfortable article of clothing.
I'm actually pausing on this lovely keyframe because I think that I could have used a different resin. I used hard resin, but there's this thing called soft resin. It's kind of the texture of a gummy bear, so I think that would make it a much more wearable piece of clothing.
So now I'm going to be doing my photo shoot that I made this for, and here are some of those photos.
While I'm showing you the photos, I'm going to explain kind of how I got this look. I sanded a filter to get that vintage film hazy look. I dusted on some glitter, but that really didn't show. And for my lighting, I wanted to mimic stage lighting, and so I had two very harsh lights with these like cones on them. I don't know, I can't remember what they were called, but they were very directed, spotlighted, one directly on me, illuminating my face, and one illuminating me from behind. And look at that pretty painting. Oh my gosh, it looks just beautiful right there. It's all lit up like perfectly.
I was a little bit nervous about the skirt because I was like, does it look too much like a diaper? I don't know. But everyone on Instagram said that it was their favorite. I like to put a lot of things up to vote to my Instagram audience, and so if you want to say in how my photo shoots turn out, then follow me over there on Instagram. I'm Ruthie's Magical Camera everywhere on the internet. I'm also on TikTok, but most of my polls and stuff are in stories on Instagram. I don't know. I never know how to end videos, but bye.